Hey guys, welcome to a new episode with Priyanka. Most people think that manifestation starts with visualizing, affirmations, journaling, X, Y, and Z. The core concept that you really have to master before you do any of this is your self-concept. You think of yourself, the way you see yourself in the bigger form of understanding manifestation, it leads to you understanding what you get in life because you get that from what you think you deserve. First, we're going to look at our self-concept because when we look at our self-concept, this is who we think we are. Who we think we are is how we relate to what we think we deserve. If you think you're A and you want to get to B, you can only get to B when you start becoming the version of yourself that deserves B. But if you are at A and you think you only deserve A, you're never going to be able to cross the path of getting to B, which is your highest version. It's kind of like a placebo of when people say that once you put your mind to something, for example, let's say, oh, I want to see a purple butterfly. How am I ever going to see a purple butterfly? But if I say that if I see a purple butterfly, I know that I will be successful in X, Y, and Z. So now if I ever see a purple butterfly, my brain's going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to be successful in whatever I want to become because that is what I've related to me being successful here. My brain is going to see that as a placebo. If a person thinks they're very unlucky or they're having a really bad day, they're going to notice that the events will turn and they will nitpick on those specific things that do project the fact that they are really unlucky or they are having the worst day possible. Whereas if you look at a lucky person, they will only look at everything, all the events happening in their life through the lens of, I'm such a lucky person. So they could have coffee spill all over them, but they would be like, oh my God, I'm such a lucky person. I get to buy a new outfit. I get to interact with someone who spilled coffee on me. There is a lens about it. It's all about the way they perceive the events in their life that they're going to relate to being lucky or unlucky. And then eventually that starts compounding. So if you're unlucky, you're going to keep becoming more unlucky. And if you're lucky in your brain, then you're going to project that even more. So I'm going to give you 3 ways how you are going to improve your self-concept. And the first way is by your inner dialogue. So we're going to work on our inner dialogue and the way we speak to ourselves. Your mind is always listening to the way you speak to yourself and about yourself. So if you say, oh my God, I'm so ugly today, or like, I'm so dumb, or I'm so mad about this, or I'm not smart, that is your brain, your mind is listening to everything, even though if you're throwing it out as a joke and you think that it has absolutely no cause and effect. That is something that your brain is listening to, and your subconscious is taking that and storing it somewhere in your brain. And then it's going to project out later, and then you're going to think, oh, where is this coming from? I love myself. Like, what do you mean? I'm so kind to myself. You're not even aware that you need to fix from your inner dialogue. And that's where the second one comes in, which is affirmations. Because if, for example, you talk about yourself in a way where you're like, oh my God, I'm so dumb. This is where you can actually use an affirmation correctly, and you can say, no, I deserve everything that I desire in my life. And I am so intelligent. No matter what I feel like right now, I'm growing to be intelligent. I'm growing to be a smarter person. I am getting better at doing something. I'm getting better at learning a new skill. And these affirmations, you have to be so careful with the way you speak about these affirmations to yourself. Instead of saying affirmations like, oh, I have to do, instead of using words in your inner dialogue like I have to do this or I have to do that, I want you to really flip that to the other side and start saying I get to, because you get to educate yourself. You get to go outside. You get to hang out with your parents. You get to do X, Y, and Z. So instead of telling your brain that you have to do something, when you switch it to saying I get to do something, you're telling your brain that you're grateful for it. And you are changing the way you perceive how you talk about events in your life. Number 3, we are going to start acting and embodying the exact person that we want to become. How do I think that this person who has my dream life going to behave? What are her characteristics? Break it down as much as possible. What she likes to do in her free time, what she likes to do as her everyday habit, and then try to embody her. Become her completely. And that's how you're going to bridge the gap between you two. Your life is honestly going to change once you stop thinking that you're supposed to be waiting for the life to come to you and realize that you are the creator of that life. Thank you so much for coming to my chit chat today.